Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Cobra Master Toy Review. And today, we're looking at the 2008 release by Hasbro of the Target exclusive celebrating the 25th Anniversary G.I. Joe vehicle review. Now you must be wondering why am I not including that figure in today's video, because this is a Wild Weasel figure, and basically he's the same figure that came along in the Captain Ace and Wild Weasel comic pack. Exactly the same with little minor differences. 1. He doesn't come with a base stand. 2. His neck joint is painted a little bit lighter in dark blue, lighter than the comic pack itself. So I don't want to waste anyone's time by going through the Wild Weasel review again. You want to see this review, and today's review will be covering on the Cobra Rattler. But for those who want to, or missed out the Wild Weasel review, just click on the link here. Yes, today we'll be looking at the Cobra Rattler, and I got this straight from eBay for 300 ringgit. Yes, I know it's a rather pricey pricing to get the awesome vehicle of Cobra Rattler. Original retail pricing is $24.90. Now I got this straight from an eBay seller for $49.90 plus shipping of additional $50 there. Yes, it's still very pricey. It's more than what is being sold in the retail shop. Well, it's better than other eBay sellers selling it for $100 without even including shipping. With shipping, it's $150. Yes, it's quite mad to actually price that kind of pricing for Cobra Rattler, but it's really hard to get this in the mint box. Rather difficult. But I was lucky enough to find this rather cheaply compared to the others. Furthermore, this is a Target exclusive Cobra Rattler, and it never appeared in local retail stores. The only time that it really appeared, and it was only once, is on a scalper specialty shop. Only once, and by the time I wanted to get it, it's gone. So I was disappointed. Now let's take a look at the front part packaging itself. On one corner here, you got the same artwork style as the comic pack for the Captain Ace and Wild Weasel. Same artwork style for Wild Weasel there, and you have a smaller window that showcases the smaller figure inside, and he has his accessory, the smaller pistol. Now the main point here is to see the large window that showcases the entire plane itself. You can see the plane is not fully applied with the stickers. The only sticker that's been applied onto it is on the corner here on the right wing. Now we assume there's going to be a lot of stickers, so it's going to be a nightmare to put it on, but it's still good fun. Behind the plane itself, we've got a nice little artwork of some sort of a battle going on in the sea and air. On the bottom section here, you got the Cobra Moray or Hydrofoil. Next to it is the Cobra Moccasin. On the top corner here, we have the Sky Strikers, 2 of them. You got a lot of explosion and fire going on, very nicely done. One corner here showcase the Sky Strikers. The other corner here showcase also Sky Strikers. And at the bottom section, which I can't show you guys because due to the lighting, my bad lighting in the room, is at the bottom section here we have the Cobra Fang and another Sky Striker. So basically this entire plane is flying, and you have an overhead view and there's a battle going on. Very nicely done. I really like this. Now let's take a look at the file card. The file card is on the side here. As you can see, one side we have the Wild Weasel file card. It's basically the same file card. If you want to know about it, just head over to the comic pack review for the Wild Weasel. Now this is the Cobra Rattler file card, and we have here Cobra Rattler's designation: fighter, weapons, missiles, bombs. Now stated here, the Cobra Rattler fighter was designed to address the threat posed by the G.I. Joe team's Conquest X-30 aircraft. Now hold on a minute. In the comic, the Conquest X-30 appeared just at the same time as the Terror Dome appeared in the Marvel Comics. So the vehicle never actually appeared during the same time. Cobra Rattler actually appeared way longer than Conquest X-30. So I'm not too sure why they actually, do that way. A little bit of change, I guess. Now, continuing on, With technology bought or stolen from the most advanced aeronautics firms and military installations, Cobra engineers have constructed the Cobra Rattler with next-gen avionics and engineering to reach supersonic speeds while retaining maximum control. Only an expert pilot such as Mount Weasel is able to use its highly responsive maneuverability to its fullest capacity. Carrying heat-seeking missiles and cluster bombs, the Cobra Rattler can inflict devastating damage on its targets. Very nice. And a top-down view of the Cobra Rattler itself. Very nicely done. Now at the back here, we have a large image of the Cobra Rattler. And of course the figure is standing in front, the Wild Weasel figure. Here is stated small little features for the entire plane. We have the canopy that opens, removable bombs and missiles, and a fold-up landing gear. Now at the top part here, small little write-up stating the Cobra Rattler fighter plane strikes the G.I. Joe base with venomous ease. It's one of the most powerful planes in the air. Its only equal is the G.I. Joe's team's Conquest X-30. Hold on a minute. Its equal is Sky Striker, but let's continue on, which is blasting into the sky to challenge this deadly attacker. And at the corner here, we have a smaller image of the Conquest X-30 with Lieutenant Slipstream. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging and molest the vehicle. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the vehicle, the plane itself, out from the packaging itself. Now inside the packaging, it comes with the Wild Weasel figure, and this figure is absolutely no change compared to the Captain Ace and Wild Weasel comic pack, except for one minor difference: the paint job. Now the neck joint here is painted in a bit more lighter in dark blue, so not much of change. It's basically the same figure. It comes with a removable goggle, a removable pistol. However, this figure doesn't have a base stand. Now if you want a more intricate detailed review of the Wild Weasel figure, just click on the link here. So I'm gonna put this one side because he's not the main attraction of the show. Now also inside the packaging itself, it comes with the instruction manual. Top section of the instruction manual showcase the technobabble listing all the plane's features. Middle section here showcased on a simple assembly to the plane, like the covers, applying the bombs and missiles, and applying the turret, which the turret already pre-assembled. So does the bombs and missiles as well as the covers. Now at the bottom section here is where your nightmare begins, because there's a total of 90 stickers to apply to the plane, from top, bottom, both sides, and in the front, and also to the bombs and missiles. 90 stickers, and it took me at least an hour just to apply all of them. At the back of the manual itself is all blank, nothing special. Now without further ado, let's take a look at the Cobra Rattler. Now the entire plane itself is not painted at all, it's just pure plastic color, which is fine by me because that's how it is when it first released in 1984. Now let's take a look at the plastic color. Throughout the entire body itself, it's used with a dark purple, as you can see. Well, I'm not too sure if you can see it in the camera, but it originally is in a really dark purple plastic color, just like the 1984 release of the Cobra Rattler. Unlike the, well, compared to the Marvel comics that were released, which was perhaps in the camera speaking up, I'm not too sure, in a really dark blue colors, but in actual reality it's in dark purple. Also, you notice the engines and the turbines there at the back, they're all made of a silver plastic color, or very light gray plastic colors. Very nice, including the engines as well. Very nice. The turret, the minigun, the detachable secondary missiles, the smaller missiles, the hangar, the wheels are all made in black plastic color. The bombs are made in gray plastic color. However, the cockpit uses a different kind of a gray plastic color. This is a bit more darker in color, a little bit more greenish. And finally, The canopy and the cover for the turret is made of a clear dark gray plastic color. Very nicely done. I really like the amount of colors being applied onto the plane itself. Very nicely done. Now the plane also features with a lot of accessories. Yes, the bombs and missiles are considered as accessories. We have 4 tin missiles, as you can see there, from 2 on each side. 3 cluster bombs on one side, so that's on the other side as well, totaling 6 cluster bombs, all interconnect each other with the hangers. 2 bombs on each side and 2 missiles. Very nicely done. Now let's take a look at the plane's features. Now the plane itself comes with, well, a turret, as you can see at the back portion here, but the turret is very easy to pop out from the plane itself. The turret does turn 360 degrees, a little bit articulation there, and also you can pivot the gun up and down, aiming straight of course, and of course the cover opens up. It's very loose. I really don't like the entire turret itself. It's very loose. It doesn't secure to the plane itself very well. And the cover itself, as you can see, every time I try to open all the way up, because of the excess plastic at the back end of the cover itself, it's a bit hindered to the entire turret. So every time you open, you can hear the sound itself. I try to file it down as much as I can, but it's still not enough, so I'll have to try to, well, file it more. You have opening canopy, as you can see. This portion here cannot be opened, but you can try to, well, pull it out like so. The minigun at the bottom, as you can see, it's sort of like a dial here. You can actually spin the minigun. Very nice. The engines for each side can be opened to reveal the details of the engine. Very nicely done. Also at the back portion and the front portion here, you can also rotate it. Very nice. Very nice. But you have to be extra careful with this 4, well, clips here, because back in 1984, when I was a kid, whenever I tried to pull the engine covers, you tend to wanting to pull it more carefully as an adult, but as a kid, when you try to pull it, you might accidentally, well, break these pieces because they are extremely thin and fragile. So just a little bit heads up warning there. The other side opens as well, same thing. Now what's missing from this plane is 2 more covers. Originally in the 1984 release, it has 2 extra covers, one for the side here that opens up like so, that reveals the engine, as you can see, and the cover would feature holes as shown as like a battle damage. Very nice. And the second one is at the back portion here, where there's a lot of bullet holes at the back, and it shows the details of the engine itself. Now, problem with this piece here, similar problem from the 1984 release, is because the back portion of the cover itself is a bit too much excess plastic. So at first you will have a problem trying to pull it out because it's a bit too long. So you have to be careful to pry it out using a very thin metallic, well, material, trying to pry it out slowly, then try to file this 2 section down, so you have an easier time to open and close the cover. Otherwise you might accidentally stress the plastic too much and end up breaking it. So it's not really a fun deal to do something like that. Now the plane has 3 landing gears at the bottom, as you can see here, and all the wheels can roll. Very nicely done. And all the landing gears can be closed like so, and can be opened quite easily as well. Very nice. And also another feature for the plane itself is the VTOL mode, or the vertical takeoff and landing feature. Basically all you have to do is just slide this upwards and there you have it. But when you slide the wings upwards, you tend to make the back portion a little bit heavy, so it tends to, well, tilt backwards a little bit. As you can see there, that's a little bit of problem with the Cobra Rattler because the back portion is a bit too light and majority of the weight is the wings itself. And speaking of the wings, it uses a metallic, as you can see, a metallic lid to support the wings, just like the 1984 release of the Cobra Rattler. Very nicely done, very nicely done. Now let's take a look at the plane's mold. The mold itself is not based on the 1984 release of the Cobra Rattler, but rather they used the 2002 mold, and they modified the cockpit and the seating for the gun turret itself to fit the newer figures. So it's a bit pity that they don't use the 1984 mold and modify it straight from that, but it's still very nicely done because it's still the old Cobra Rattler's design. Now the problem with the old Cobra Rattler design is because, well, there are some of the plastic that's a little bit accessed, so sometimes some of the parts don't actually fit very well or closed very well. Like the back portion of the fins there, you can see that the back portion of the fins, one side is tilted downwards, so a little bit disappointing. Now the entire mold is very nicely done with the details, because both sides of the plane for the paneling is quite different. On one side of the paneling you got something like this going on the other side the paneling is a little bit more different. As you can see there, especially on the back portion where there's the gas pump and the fuel tank, very nice. Bottom section is alright in details, not too terribly detailed. It's the sides and the top section is very nicely done, especially on the wings there, on the flappers, very nice details. Oh, and of course, let's not forget the nicely done engines, very detailed stuff. So that's the engines here. It's a pity they don't give the extra hatches, the covers. As you can see, very nice. And let's not forget the cockpit. The cockpit is also well done. You can see the cockpit here, very nice. It's a small little handle there for the figure to hold on to. Very detailed stuff. Let's put a figure inside into the cockpit and also the gun turret. Yeah, well, weasel now. And to place the figure inside, especially on Wild Weasel, because as mentioned before in the Wild Weasel review, he tends to have a little bit problem with the belt hindering his, well, his right-sided hips, because he doesn't sit all the way down. So you have to sort of push him inside a little bit. You have to maneuver the figure a little bit, otherwise the canopy won't close all the way in, like so. Now Wild Weasel is sitting inside comfortably, very nicely done. And let's not forget the gun turret. Us following the Marvel Comics version where Wild Weasel is taking the Cobra Rattler out, and following behind him is the Baroness. So Baroness can actually sit inside with no problems. Of course, the moment she sits inside, she actually sits way in. You can see the head doesn't even pop out at all, but still very nicely done. And when you can turn the entire turret, she's still facing forward. Very nice. The details is absolutely gorgeous. I really love the amount of details they put onto the plane itself. But the problem is that the back portion of the plane is a little bit light, so it tends to tilt backwards, and some of the missiles and bombs don't peg in quite well. It tends to fall off quite easily, and I really don't like the very loose gun turret. It pops off quite easily no matter what you do. The moment you turn it, it will just pop off quite easily. And the cockpit is a little bit tight, but other figures should fit in quite nicely. It's just that for Wild Weasel to sit in is a bit, well, you have to really push him in all the way in. And I am a little bit disappointed at the back portion of the fin. As you can see, is a bit one-sided, tilted downwards. But overall, the entire plane is very nicely done. Very nice. And it's rather hard to find this because this is very rare. Especially this is an old Target exclusive Cobra Rattler plane. And you'll be lucky enough to actually find anyone selling it in a decent price, because some people are actually sculpt this entire plane to up to $100, so it's really ridiculous. Overall, I really like the plane design. It brings a lot of nostalgic values, a lot of nostalgic memories, and a lot of nice fun value as well. And especially the design itself is absolutely gorgeous. The details are gorgeous. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I'll say, despite all the problems, I'll still give it a nice 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for the Cobra Rattler. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.